Welcome to Soul Rising. We're your hosts, Amy and Erin. We're two everyday mediums who are passionate about taking the woo-woo out of spirituality and bringing it down to earth. So put the kettle on, grab a chair, and join us.
Welcome back to, what is this, episode 27?
27.
Episode 27. Oh my gosh.
Stay tuned to the end of the episode because we are going to
We have some things.
we're going to talk about a few really exciting things that are coming up in the next couple weeks for you. So make sure you stay tuned till the end. So it's interesting because we just started recording this. I looked at the clock, it was 11:11, so that's a good omen for this.
Yes,
podcast.
little hug, as we mentioned last podcast from Spirit.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love
Amy
it
and I are
too.
having like a synchronistic.
We always do whenever
You're in line. Whenever, that's why I always look forward to these podcasts because
Me too.
I just know.
Yeah, I always learn things or think of things in a different way, and it's just a good.
We grow with
good
you
vibe.
guys listening.
We are growing with you. Yeah. Okay, so last week we talked about mindfulness, about mindset, and also a little bit about like time and sense of time and slowing down. If you missed that episode, go back. We had some amazing things come through, and also then we did card pull at the end that made me cry. So like you definitely need to go back there and listen to it. Hopefully there's some good advice for you guys back there, or guidance. So I think today we're still going to kind of bring this forward a little bit, still a little bit with mindset. I wanted to share a dream story.
Okay. I'm
a little bit about Mercury Retrograde.
Oh yeah.
Which is something that's happening right now. And I know this
right now, until June 2nd. We'll get into it. I don't know.
May 10th to June 2nd. So we are in the thick of it. So we'll talk about that too, because that's something that a lot of people ask about. It's something that's it's almost like common knowledge now. Like everybody's kind of heard, like there's even jokes about it, memes like, we're in Mercury Gatorade now, or like but so we'll talk about that too, because we know that inquiring minds want to know. So I don't know. Do you want me to like just?
I want to hear about this dream. I'm just like on the edge of my my hands are under my armpits.
You're right. I haven't even told Erin this. I just told Erin that I had a dream and that I wanted to share it on the podcast. So in the last episode, I talked a little bit about like some health things happening, which is interesting because it's Taurus season, and then Erin was sick as well. And Taurus season is, a lot about our body and awareness of body. And I feel like taking care of yourself and stuff. And I feel like that has been a message loud and clear that I've been hearing this Taurus season. And so anyways, I had this appointment on Friday that was kind of, this is not the dentist story that we shared in the last one. This is another appointment that I had that came out of nowhere. That's why I say, like, literally when it rains, it pours. We go all in. We don't do anything half-assed.
We don't half-ass it.
Apart. So I had another kind of unexpected appointment, which I may share about in time, but it's.
But otherwise, you're okay, right?
I'm fine. Yes, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm not. It's something to do with my vision in my eyes, so I'll just leave it with that. But it was kind of anxiety inducing, right? And I was feeling a little bit of anxiety. Talked to the optometrist about it, and she's like, listen, Amy, of all things this could be, this is the best case scenario. If we can figure this out, we can work with this. And so it really helped me kind of try to switch the mindset around it, which I had been practicing about the dental appointment. We talked about in the last episode. And so that night, so this would have been like last Friday night, I had a dream. So we've talked about dreams before, and the importance of like when you wake up and you remember a dream very vividly and detailed, there's absolutely a message for you.
If you can, write it down.
Write it down. Yep. And so I, for the first time to my knowledge that I remember, at least, I dreamt of my own funeral.
Which wild, like that's wild.
Which is crazy.
Never had a dream like that.
So it wasn't like, I'll just tell you the story because you haven't even heard this. This is new for Erin too. It's not as if like we were in like a big church or a big place.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
No, not, it was like what was happening before that.
Oh.
Okay. And it was as if, I don't even know if I was still living or if I was in spirit, but I feel like I was still living, but I was like preparing for the funeral. Right. It's important to say I didn't feel sick. I also don't feel like this was a bad omen or a warning at all. Mm-hmm. I felt very detached from it.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, so why didn't you feel like it was a bad thing?
Because it's hard to explain it. Just the feeling of it. Like I woke up and I immediately was like, this doesn't feel bad. Yeah. Like it's hard for me to explain. It just didn't feel scary.
I think that's important too, right?
It was like I was observing something.
Yeah.
So in this, again, I don't know the details of like how I was passing, if I was sick. I don't know anything like that. I just know that I was kind of like in a back office or a back room of some sort, and that my mother and my sister were there. And we were talking and I was sharing details about things and like talking about my life. And this is the weird thing. Okay. There was this, I was talking about this thing that I called my booth partner. Booth as in BOOTH. My booth partner. Okay. Very specific that I had a booth partner. And what this meant was that I was like I had my own casket. I was being buried. Yeah. The other person I told this about, when I said the word booth partner, her whole body like,
yeah, my body is like,
I know. And we can talk about this. If you guys feel like you have any idea about what this possibly could mean, please like let us know. So it was like I had my own casket, but it was like on a shelf or something. And then there was what a booth partner meant was that you got buried in pairs. So there was another person on the shelf in a separate casket.
Whoa. Okay?
And there was a picture and a write-up on the other casket and on mine about me and my life and about my booth partner and his life. So it was a male. There's a picture of him. I can still see it in my head. He had like olive skin. He had greenish eyes with like shaggy dark hair. Yeah. And I feel as if he was like perhaps Mexican or Spanish.
Okay.
And he had a name. And I remember in the dream rehearsing, saying over and over again his name, like remember this, remember this, remember this.
What was the name?
Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it, but in the dream I was going, it's this, it's not Bernard, even though it looks and sounds like Bernard, it's not Bernard. And I was rehearsing it in my dreams almost as if so that when I woke up I'd remember. It was Berane, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've Googled it. It's like there's a place called that. There's also like, I think it can be a last name, but I was literally rehearsing it.
I wonder if there's anybody here. Yeah. Anybody listening who speaks maybe Spanish, like if that.
Something. Yeah. But I remember going, remember this. It's not Bernard, but everybody's going to think it's Bernard because it's BER, right? And they're just going to see it and think but it wasn't his name. So that felt significant to me too, because then I woke up and I couldn't remember how to pronounce it or what it truly was.
Yeah.
And it almost made me feel like I was trying to remember, but I wasn't meant to.
It's okay. Yeah. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts.
To me, when I woke up and I was kind of thinking about this, I said, this person is connected to me in some way, either a guide or some sort of soulmate out in the universe, in which not like love interest kind of thing, just some sort of,
but there's a connection. Yeah.
And that's why we were booth partners, almost like we came in together and we're going out together. My arm hairs are standing up. Okay. And in it, I remember so there was a picture of both of us, right, on each casket, and like a write-up about each other's lives. And I remember saying to my mom, and it makes me laugh now, but it was not said in a cocky way at all. Yeah. But I said, his family is going to be so happy that he is with me because look at all these things I've done in my life. Oh. I have done everything that I said I was going to do.
Wow. Wow.
He said he was going to do. And so it was like, we did it. We came in together. We were separate. we did everything we were supposed to do, and then we go back out together. And I was like, and then my sister said in the dream, she was like, Amy, like, you changed the whole way that I think about life and what happens after life and what we're here to do. And then I woke up, and that was it. And I was like, what was that? Get some water.
I'm sorry.
I was like, what was that? So I had a chat with somebody, I think like that day.
Of course.
Yeah. And she was like, I told her the story, and she was like, whoa, that's interesting. And then I said, interestingly enough, I don't feel scared. I don't feel like it was a bad omen. I don't think it's a warning. I don't feel like I'm close to dying.
Yeah.
I said, I feel like a sense of peace about it. It's almost like getting a glimpse of what people will think about you or say about you after you're gone, or like what impact you had.
It's like, I don't know how you feel about it, but it feels like it's validation that you're doing your life's purpose, your life's work, and you're going to be remembered as such. And also that, I feel like there's like double meaning with this Bernard.
It was like brain or brain, something like that. It was like BERANE, I think. But again, it feels like almost like my memory was wiped of the exact pronunciation.
Oh my God. That's some like Men in Black.
Well, it reminded me of when you like felt the presence of your guide, and then it was almost like,
I was gonna say that's literally
like you know too much.
I'm oh my God, why are you awake? Like, I'm getting goosebumps as I say.
It's like because is that not called lucid dreaming, when you're aware that you're dreaming?
So when you're like awake,
that was a lucid dream, because in it I was rehearsing like, this is how you say his name, this is how you say his name, remember this, remember this. And then I woke up and I was like, shit, I don't but I feel like that's
guys, come on. Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like it's kind of connected to like some things that are in the works that I'm working on, and like kind of been anxious, like, what if I don't do it? What if I can't do this? And I feel like it's validation that perhaps I will, right? Yeah. Because at the end of the life, there's like this pride, like you did it, you did what you said you were going to do. And then also my friend pointed out to me when I told her the story, she said, to me, the most significant thing is that when it is your time, you're okay. You're great. Even you're okay to go.
Yeah. Wow.
And I feel like I want to cry when I say that.
It's true. Like, like it's like there's going to be fulfillment.
Yeah. Like as if I maybe evolved the just the right amount that I needed to in this lifetime, in order to, not that I'm like perfectly evolved and like there'll be lessons the next time. But I did what I was supposed to do.
You did what you came here, you did what you were meant to do.
Yeah. And it felt
I definitely feel like that Bernard
something there.
That's a guide.
It's a guide or something. Yeah. Because remember how we talked about in the last episode how with our guides, or what people call it, guardian angels, how they're always there, they come in with you, they leave with you, they're forever support with you, but they can't like influence your life because you have free will, and that's what the contract is. So but that we ask for help, they can give it, but they can't like pull strings and make things happen. We have to do that, but they can help guide you. And so maybe there's significance to like the feeling of we came in together and we're leaving together.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
I wonder too. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Do you remember when we did the spirit guide episodes, and I talked about the painting that I kind of like came in with the threes, what I feel like is,
I'm just gonna say that.
Were you? And how I'm in that dream, I said, I feel as if there's two males and one female, and I got Matthew as one and like Lila as two, but I don't know the third.
You don't know the other one. The triangle.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy to me. So I don't know, guys. Wow. Have you ever had a dream like this about, maybe
it was so vivid,
tapping or a passing or a funeral or anything like that. It was really strange. And just because it didn't feel scary. Like, I mean, I've had dreams about other people passing and things like that, you know, didn't pass. But I remember waking up and almost being like anxious, like, oh my God, I hope this isn't a bad omen. Like, what if they're going to pass, and being kind of anxious about it. But this, I didn't have any of that kind of stuff.
Well, remember when this reminds me of when I brought up to you, I don't know if I shared this in the podcast, but I felt like something was going to end. And I was like,
death.
Almost like a death. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm going to die, but it feels like something's going to end. And we're past that point now. I don't really know what it was, to be honest with you. I'm wondering if it was like an evolution, a spiritual, a cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Anyways, it just reminds me of like, and maybe that's the thing too. Maybe that funeral is less about a literal death, but about things are, and like you're starting a new chapter for yourself.
Yes. Yeah, just like when we talk about is it the what card is it in tarot that everybody gets?
The death.
Yeah, the death card.
Yeah, because it doesn't mean literal. I love the
literal death. No,
I always love the Mother Peace tarot deck. And the symbol for death is a snake shedding its skin, because that's all death is. It's renewal. Yeah, getting ready for the new.
And last week in the card pull you did, there was regeneration and kind of like that feeling.
And that's true.
So interesting.
I like that. What a cool dream.
It was really cool. And I'm just like, what is the thing? Like, again, the thing that creates the most mystery and almost like excitement about is like this booth partner. And like the term booth partner, like, what is that? It's really
Did you look that up?
I don't think I did. But
I don't think anything will come up.
I just remember it was like we were on slats, you know, almost like, you know, if you go, I don't know what it's called, but when people have like a little space in which their ashes are placed, and then it's you know what I mean? You can go visit the wall of people in you know what I mean? Like it's
I know
almost like that, like where there's slats where you're
with
like
somebody else,
but you're with somebody else. You know, which you think about like would be maybe your partner or your parents or something like that. But like, it was this person. What are you getting?
You're going to freak out.
What is it? What the hell is a partner?
What? Okay, wait. Amy,
I literally didn't Google it. I don't know why.
I need you to Google right now, booth partner funeral. Okay.
Oh God.
Scroll down. Just no. It's like, oh, this doesn't mean anything. But then go scroll down past the maps and look at Booth and Wollston Home Funerals.co.uk.
So I'm searching for Booth partner funeral.
Booth partner funeral. Yeah.
Okay. And then go down
to where there's like, you should see like a black bird.
Oh, Booth and Wollaston Home Funeral.
Yes. Okay. Look at the name in the description.
Oh my God.
Like, are you
my
kidding
God.
Me?
Okay.
You guys, tell.
Okay. So we're going to show, if you're on YouTube, we're going to show you. So literally we Googled Booth partner funeral.
I can't. Okay? My phone's not.
Then you see like a bunch of pictures of people.
There we go.
Okay. And then you see like a Bones episode. Right. Yeah. And then underneath it says Booth and Wollaston Home Funeral Parlor. Okay.
Look at that name.
And if you click on it, the first name you see is Bernard Booth.
Bernard,
Booth.
You guys.
What the hell?
Come on. Like, what are the chances? What the hell? What are the chances? I'm going to click on it too. And it's a black bird. I don't know. For me, that's very symbolic.
Whoa. This is just like...
This is telling you need to go to the UK. So we should probably take...
I need to meet Bernard Booth because he is my booth partner.
Excuse me, Bernard. You are my booth partner.
That's wild. Honest to God, that is wild.
I'm like kind of shaking. Like, that's crazy.
So he's in the UK.
That's bananas.
That's bananas. That really is. I want to see exactly where are they, because...
Yeah, I was going to say, where in the UK?
Doesn't tell. Oh, Ramsbottom, Crow Lane. That's why there's a crow. Crow Lane.
Crow Lane. Like, come on.
Ramsbottom.
Where is Ramsbottom? Somebody.
we gotta contact Emily, our lovely
Emily. I know. Friend. Can we just phone her up right now? Is she busy?
Get her on FaceTime.
I'm literally Googling it. Where is this?
This is crazy.
Bury, UK. Hang on.
Bury. Oh, Barry. Stop.
What is this? Okay.
So, Ramsbottom, and then underneath it says,
oh, it's near Manchester. It's near Manchester,
which is where our friend is from. This is freaking wild. There is some sort of connection here, which is wild because I just done all of my ancestors.
You literally are. You have connections. Like,
I have done my family tree, okay, and I am very connected to obviously Scotland, but there's family that came through. I talked to my friend about this because she's from, that northern part of England, and through the Yorkshire area, which is literally like right above this. This is crazy. And the word, so it says Ramsbottom, and then underneath it says Buryuk, like Bury,
Bury, UK.
Like Barry. Which
okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a trip. I'm gonna come with you because I want to go.
Do it. This is blowing my mind.
Like what?
Like the Bernard, first of all, right?
I hope everybody else is Googling this right now and sees.
I swear to you, I didn't. All I looked up was brain. But it's interesting because maybe it was like, it actually is Bernard, but
maybe you're just like, this is family.
Tricked. So it's like brain. It's not brain. It
Can you imagine like Bernard, if you're somehow related to him?
To that would be wild. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Bernard Booth. Bernard.
I really want to take
on Facebook. Here. Please send me a friend.
Yeah. If for some reason you also had a dream about somebody named Brookes, Amy.
Yeah.
In Canada, red glasses.
I am just like,
that's wild.
That's wild. I
love that happened on the podcast. Yeah, me too.
I am shocked because I actually haven't thought about the stream all week. And then this morning, somebody was asking about something. We're talking about she was like, how are you? How your dentist thing? And then I told her about the eye thing. And then I was like, oh, by the way, listen to my dream, because it felt significant that, I had that appointment on a Friday and then had this dream on the Friday night, because I feel like there was a little bit of a message of like, yes, because there's nothing like, feeling like you're getting old than, having a vision problem or like different things like that. Right. And this vision problem that I'm having is like typically seen in older populations. So it's almost like me facing my mortality, but also, I'm getting older, but there's still time and I'm still doing things and I still will do more. And I feel like it was a part of that, of like really, intentionally appreciating the time.
I think so.
Most of everything that I have.
Because like also, I'm sorry, but what are the chances that there's somebody named Bernard Booth who owns a funeral home in the UK near where you have relatives?
And in a place called Bury.
In a place called Bury.
And the reason that's significant to me is because in this dream, I was like, okay, so I'm in a casket, I'm being buried. But when I think about when I go, my plans are to be cremated.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why am I in a casket?
Why are you buried? Because you have relatives in Bury, UK. Clearly. Whoa.
Or like some sort of
there has to like
soul person. Again, it doesn't, when people say soulmate, they often go immediately to romantic. I'm happily married. I'm not inviting any more romantic soulmates in my life, but like
one's enough. Yeah.
One is enough. Plenty. We have soulmates.
Soulmates. Amy is my soulmate.
Yeah. More than one soulmate can come. Friend, pet. I truly believe that. Children, parents.
Oh. Yeah. Ted is my other half for sure. There's no way he's not.
That's just like blowing my flip.
Wow.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I hope other people also Google it. You have to Google it right now. Just like, we're not making it up. You have to look. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's wild. It's anyways. Okay.
Whoa.
What were we talking about?
I almost wish that this was like going out on the weekend and not next week, but we've already said that it's episode 27.
I wanted like call this number.
That's crazy. That just I don't even know. Okay, so if we can move from the shooketh mindset that we're in right now and move into Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
If we can. Yeah.
Wow.
The reason that we bring up the dream is because I thought it was interesting, and like obviously like look what this is also what's interesting is this morning when I was talking to my friend in the DMs about this.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, I said, you know what? This just popped in my head. I hold on, I gotta find the chat. I said, I feel like, where is she? She is here. So I said, where is it? Okay, I said, I think I'll talk about this today on the podcast. I just heard in my mind, talk about this, LOL. And then she said, well, then you must.
Yeah. And look at what happened.
Talk about it today.
You know what it also says in their description? Because I still can't get over it. And I think I'm just going to be talking about the whole day. This is just kind of cool, but it says, an unrivaled knowledge of religious and secular funeral venues in the surrounding areas makes Booth and Wolstenholme the ideal partner in planning the perfect remembrance ceremony for your loved ones. It's just like,
it's crazy.
Anyways,
that's great.
I'm gonna have to put it away because
what if I've had like a past life there or something? You know, like it's just yeah.
I will come with you. I'm gonna look up flights.
Well, I think we should maybe like, I know I've talked to Emily, like one day I'm coming to the UK and we're gonna hang out with Emily.
We're gonna hang out with Emily. We're gonna go on some ghost tours.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go visit this funeral home.
Can you imagine us showing up, hey, with like our cameras and stuff, because we're like gonna shoot like a documentary. Oh no.
We had a dream, so we have to be here. Maybe they would think it's cool. Maybe Bernard would also look at you going, you look so familiar.
Wow.
And you'd be like, you also look familiar.
And then I was going to say, and then we kiss like in a movie. And then I was like, no, he's not.
No. You embrace like brother and sister. Yeah.
That's funny.
Wow. So on a separate note.
Yeah. Like, how does this relate to mindset? Well, it has to do, I think, a little bit with the like awareness.
Yeah.
Of maybe just like knowing, okay, if I'm dreaming about something in this vivid detail, there is a message for me. Like this
clearly.
I do need to take a little bit of time to like ponder this.
Yeah.
To sift through it. I often tell people like, we don't need to hardcore like interpret, investigate in the moment, which I didn't clearly, because this has been a week until this happened, right? We don't need to do that because sometimes we can kind of like lose sight or make other catch things that aren't there.
Yeah.
But I always like, you know how I've talked about having an evidence journal? I don't know if I've talked to you about that. I'll always give this to many of my clients. I have like what I call my evidence journal. Every time something kind of drops into my awareness that kind of doesn't make sense in the moment, but feels like I need to pay attention, I write it down. Yeah. Whenever I have a dream that I remember, I write it down. Because at some point you're going to be reflecting and go, oh, 6 months ago. Oh, that makes sense now. And what this does, the reason I call it your evidence journal is because then you see that your intuition has been guiding you and like dropping little breadcrumbs along the way forever.
Yep.
And it's speaking to you.
Yeah.
And this is a way to build your confidence in your own intuition, as well as a guide.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to do that when I mean, you're making me feel like I got to get back into it. Go get a new
notebook, like a fresh new notebook, everybody, if you can.
Yeah, do it. Seriously, because I used to, that's how I started too. One medium suggested I meditate and I write things down, which is how I really got started in this work. And I was finding there you go. You find correlations. Yeah. You find correlations. I wrote down the name Jasper. This was years ago, right? A year later, I dated Jasper.
Wow.
I wrote it down in connection with my love life too somehow. So it was just like,
you can see that it's always guiding you.
You get bits of information here
and
there.
Bits and pieces. And so, it's just like the awareness and the acknowledgement of it. And then it just, I don't know, clarity comes.
Yeah.
Because it's not to say that like just mediums or just like spiritual kind of people get these kind of things happening. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Not everybody takes a moment to connect it or make note of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most people will be like, I dreamed about my own funeral. Weird.
Weird.
Like,
and yeah. But if it sticks out to you, if you're still thinking about it too, I also say that to folks, like if you're still thinking about it, there's something there.
There's something there. This is bringing me back. We talked about, I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but we talked about potentially talking about it in a future time. And maybe when things slow down for you, maybe in the summer or something, if you have any downtime, I've been reading the Celestine Prophecy. I've been slowly reading it, like chunks of it, and I'm getting close to being done. So Erin and I might talk about that on a future episode, because I'm getting kind of, there's like, it feels connected to that in some way. Yeah. It's a really interesting book. It's like fiction.
Yeah.
But it's written about spiritual truths that in the book they call insights.
Yeah. I have to
read it. And it's like about, the first one is about, not to give too much away about the story, but like coincidences, and like coincidences,
quote unquote.
Yeah. Literally that's the first step, like, is knowing, okay, this is something and I need to pay attention to it, and like following through with it. It's the first step. And essentially you go through all the insights, and you, this is how we evolve as humans. And this is how, we raise our vibration and all that. So let's move to Mercury retrograde. It has to do with mindset. We promise it has to do.
It's true. It is true. Yeah. We wanted to talk about it because it is a hot button, I think, topic. I feel like a lot of people
want to know.
I mean, I can start with this, like these are just my personal views on Mercury retrograde. I don't think it's a thing. I really think Mercury retrograde, I think it's one of those things that we've talked about before, which is if we put the energy out where we think this is maybe what Mercury retrograde is, you're going to get that back. We also have talked a lot about how I feel like people, the more folks like believe in something as a collective, right? I do feel like that's energy, like that is, that can create some form of truth. There could be maybe some form of truth, but I do think Mercury retrograde and experiences
from that. Yeah,
exactly. I think Mercury retrograde for me has always been less about, bad things happen, computer glitches, et cetera, and more about self-awareness.
Yeah, because I mean, computer glitches happen all times of year.
It doesn't have to be Mercury retrograde.
Really. You're noticing them happening more during, and maybe there's something to that. But again, like Erin and I are such big advocates to like, what do we assign power to?
Yeah.
Because we know that what we assign power to holds power.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, I'm always kind of aware when Mercury retrograde happens, because I do think that there's some things, because collectively the energy is, everything's messed up. Like we can't do this, we can't do this. I do kind of focus on like, okay, so if there is an energy that kind of makes things a little bit haywire, then what can I do?
What does that mean for me?
Right. Or like, personally, I'm having a bad day, or nothing's working out for me. What can I do in this moment, like to get me out of it? Or what is the lesson in this? Or what is the energy or my subconscious trying to alert me to?
Yeah.
Which then ties back into the dreams and the mindset and all the things that we've talked about. So quickly, I've got the, on my other screen, I got almanac.com up. So we all know the Farmer's Almanac. So when I searched for Mercury retrograde, this was my first hit. And I feel like the Almanac is a pretty good source. So it says, what is Mercury retrograde? It's 3 times a year, the planet Mercury appears to travel backwards across the sky. We refer to these period of times as when Mercury is in apparent retrograde motion as simply Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
To those who practice astrology, these times in particularly were traditionally associated with confusion, delay, and frustration. This is an excellent time to reflect on the past. However, it's said that intuition is high during these periods. Coincidences can be extraordinary. So then it goes on to say the astronomical explanation for retrograde motion starts with understanding the planets in our solar system orbit the sun. We talked about orbiting in the last one, at different distances and speed. While we orbit the sun ourselves, we can observe the other planets moving, following their own paths. Sometimes it can appear from our perspective. That a planet has abruptly switched directions and has started to move in reverse. This, of course, is an illusion caused by the position of Earth in relation to that of the planet, since a planet in orbit always travels in one set direction and cannot suddenly reverse course. This is why we call the phenomenon apparent retrograde motion.
Apparent retrograde. I like that too.
I like that actually. Like it's moving backwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that felt like truth to me when I read it, and I was like, yeah, okay, so it's not that it's science is actually, shown proved. It's not actually moving in reverse. It appears to be. And so it's interesting because it's like, it appears to be, therefore that's the perspective, right? Because what we see, that's the appearance. And then we assign meaning to it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it means something. Just food for thought. It's not to say like, oh, this is our opinion. It's not to say like that is fact, what we just said, but
it's not to say,
not to say that you don't experience like way more glitches during. I tend to feel in the past, before I really knew much about Mercury retrograde, I remember going, I always feel like crap during Mercury retrograde. Oh, that's why, because I did notice some energy shifts.
Yeah.
That happen to correspond to the time.
Yeah, I can see that. But it could be also in like picking up on other people's energies and
or not being aware, okay, maybe this is an opportunity to reflect or to think about what could be different.
Yeah.
Or it's an opportunity to slow down. And I'm not doing any of those things, which is why I feel like crap.
Yeah. I'm just weary of like different things of like how to survive Mercury retrograde and stuff like that. And I don't think it's about that. I think it's just more, again, it's about our perspective. It's a time of like going within, I think too, there's something what's coming through too is that maybe Mercury retrograde could be a time where things that maybe were once buried are brought to the surface, or maybe things that were once hidden are brought to the surface, and it's a time for us to just like be aware of that.
Because it's going to help somehow in our next.
It's going to help. Yeah, it's all. This whole life is all about growth, right? And learning and lessons. And I think this is just one of those things. So
so it's interesting that some things that I've read said that intuition and dreams can be more vivid, or that we remember things. And I'm thinking about my dream, and I'm like, maybe it's time that maybe this is alerting me to follow this path with you, and then like connect those dots and then go, oh, like maybe there's something for me to discover in this place, or whatever it is, or maybe it's now time for me to have the awareness of this guide of mine, or like whatever it is. There's always something evolutionary that's like,
maybe the energy makes it so that the portals are open, like maybe the floodgates are open extra, right? And we're extra sensitive to energies and picking up on things.
Here's some really big breadcrumbs.
Maybe I love that. Actually, I love looking at it that way. Things are really open.
Big breadcrumbs.
Some big breadcrumbs.
Follow those coincidences. Follow those things for more insight, and it will help you move out of this kind of apparent stagnant, stalled energy.
Go to Barry, UK.
I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of smirked when you said buried.
I know you did.
And I was like,
and I was aware of it too.
Anything. I definitely felt that, but
I'm still reeling from that. But yes.
Oh my! It's just insane to me. Like I feel like insane. That's insane.
Speaking of things opening up, things have opened up. Yeah, no kidding.
Oh my goodness, it's just crazy. So some things on this website I found. Again, it's thechilltimes.com. It comes up, there's this article about Mercury retrograde, and it kind of talks about the things that we probably most think about when we think about retrogrades. It's saying like some things to do. And so I think I'll just mention it because it can be helpful for some people. And there's one in particular that I really like. So it's a surrendering to the slowdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, right? These are things,
which is what we just talked about the last episode.
It is. And these are tips for like 365 days a year. Okay. Yes. Surrender to the slowdowns. Maybe wrap up some projects, tie up some loose ends.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to
triple check all of your emails and text messages. That's always a good idea. Be extra gentle with yourself and your loved ones and basically everyone. Always a good idea. Some shadow work. Always a good idea.
Always.
Interestingly enough, because most articles I see written about Mercury retrograde is like, this is not the time to contact your ex or like
to do anything. Yeah.
Right. This one says, reach out to the people that you haven't seen but have been thinking about. So that's interesting to me.
That's interesting too, because I actually find that actually happened to me just 2 days ago, where I was thinking about two people and they contacted me.
That's what it says in here. It says, this may happen on its own. I always notice my inbox filled with emails from people I haven't heard from in some time. If people come into your consciousness, reach out. Just like those projects you need to finish, this is the time to rekindle those relationships that you might have lost touch with, that you care for.
Yes.
And the one that I really like, it says, clean out your closets.
Yeah.
The reason I like this one and is because I truly believe in this, and I've seen it work with like not just in general clutter. So whether it's like actual physical clutter, like your closet, if you need to get rid of stuff, or mental, right? It's a time to let some things go that you no longer need, whatever that means to you.
Clearing up the space.
Clearing up space for the next. It's like I just heard the word reset, so it's interesting. It's almost like a collective reset. Like we all get like and then it's just like a bit energy building. Until the next one comes in, and it's like, okay, so what can we do with this energy? How can we use it to our best advantage?
I used to do that before reading. Like when I did in-person readings, I was like, oh, got to make sure my space is clean. But I actually felt like that was me in a way cleansing the energy, because I still caught myself doing that even when things moved to online. I was still like making sure things were kind of tidy, and I would even like just do like a little sweep of the floor. And I think it's actually like you said, it helps to reset things energetically.
Because if you think about, I think we talked about this before, where like we only have like certain capacity, like mentally and I feel like also emotionally and spiritually every day to like hold on to things. So especially if we're like trying to tie up loose ends or trying to do some sort of work or evolve and grow in some way and welcome something new into our lives, it's only natural to assume that maybe we have to let some old stuff go to make room for it. Like maybe it's just like waiting on the other side of the door, and it's like, just get rid of some of your crap and I will be there.
Ding, ding,
coming
ding,
in.
Ding, ding,
get
ding,
rid
ding,
of your
ding.
shit.
Yes. Honestly, it makes me think of because I had been so at a time like just so focused on my love life. I was like, when is it gonna come? Like, where the hell are you? Basically, right? I mean, I've talked about always pulling tarot cards and all this stuff, and I actually had an instance where I had a really like strong connection with somebody in the past, and that ended, and I had a hard time with it. And so I was looking for these things of like helping to heal myself and to just move forward from it, because I was like, I don't need this anymore. Like, I don't need this. And so I got Reiki. I actually found, this sounds kind of bananas, but I found a coven, and they had, they would do these things where it was like drop-in classes, and they would do these like fun, like they were really good healing exercises. It's in here in Toronto, actually.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's things like that in Ottawa.
I'll tell you why that comes in, because do you remember how before you talked about that there's a medium in Ottawa?
Yeah.
Male. We've talked about him before, and how he and I have a mutual friend.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the other day, like literally the other day, that mutual friend posted something, and I like had happened to like I was like looking through old photos or something, or like tagged photos, and there was this photo in there of that medium in Ottawa. Okay. And it was called like the Witches Coven or something. And your mom was tagged in it.
What?
There was a picture of a bunch of women and this one male medium sitting around a table. I don't know what year it is. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. And your mom was tagged in it. I was like, well, this is a coincidence, like, so when you said coven, I'm like, oh, I wonder if that
was that. Well, oh my God, you have to let me know like what the photo was.
I will.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's probably part of this. It's probably part of the same circle, because our medium and family friend is connected to him as well.
Right.
So my mom knows him through her. It's like a nice big. So I wouldn't be surprised. That's really, really cool.
That like literally dropped into my awareness as soon as you said that. It was like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I wish that would also be very cool. They're really awesome people. But I did it in Toronto, and it was just a really great. All it was letting go. It was an exercise in letting go energetically, and it was amazing, Amy. Like, I want to go back and do another one, because it was only women, or self-identifying women. Okay. And it was like the dress code was black. Okay. But it was just felt so powerful to be in a space filled with women and creating magic together, of like, we're all here for separate reasons.
Yeah.
And the rule was, when you get in the space, you can't talk, except for the person leading the exercise, which also just was like, anyways. And I found that after I did that, I felt better. And honestly, I kid you not, a year later, Alex came into my life.
So it's almost like you were blocking that.
Yeah, I think so. So. And I was like, you know what? No more. I said to myself, enough is enough. Enough is enough, Erin.
Yep.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, because you're essentially like driving yourself crazy. You're like, it's like we can punish ourselves for something that hasn't even happened, and we have no control over. This is bringing, like, I've talked so many times about the book, The Untethered Soul. I know I've talked about it before. It's like my Bible. It's by somebody called Michael Singer. If you haven't heard of The Untethered Soul, give it a Google. Highly recommend. I wrote a blog about this a couple weeks ago about my top 3 spiritual reads, and it's in my top 3. It's huge. So just this week he released a new book. Somehow I got it early. So it said, like, on Amazon and all different places, it said like release date May 10th. I ordered it from Indigo, which is a Canadian like book retailer, and it arrived on May 6th. So I don't know if they like just mailed it out early or what, but I seem to have it before like anybody else. It was weird. And it's called Living Untethered. I'm about halfway through it. It's like one of these like, there's a lot of explanation about like how we're actually made, like from the stars and evolution and molecules and all of those things. So it's a bit science-based in there. But then he talks about the mind and the role of the mind, and that, you know, if you think about everything outside of yourself is just like molecules and stardust, and it just is like, it's separate from us. We have no control over it. It's going to do what it's going to do with or without us. It just is. Okay. Yes. But we have and our job is truly just to observe. That's reality. This is us. We just observe reality. And, you know, he gives examples of, again, I'm only halfway through the book, so I'll share some more juiciness when I finish. But so far, this is something that stood out to me. in the moments, say like where you're driving the car, we all have different moments, whatever this is. The example he used was driving the car and you see this absolutely like awe-inspiring sunset. You pull the car over and you sit there and you watch the whole sunset. You're not thinking about anything else. It almost feels like you're blending in the experience. You're truly in the moment. We've all had those experiences and they're impactful and meaningful. And we don't forget them. It's like, remember that time? Yeah. That's what we're here to do. We're here to observe reality.
Yeah.
But our mind has, because of our thoughts and our emotions and the outside world, we've somehow we think that we can control the reality.
Yeah.
We think that, and we attach our own personal preferences to reality. And then we're happy when they're aligned. Yeah. When what I want, my preference, and what's happening outside of me is aligned. Whoa, yay, like great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
When it isn't, this is shit. Life sucks.
Yeah.
We're literally punishing ourselves for something that we literally have no control of and we're not supposed to. We're literally just supposed to be here, observing reality and
enjoying it and learning the lessons that come along with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, but the piece about the preference, I'm like, that is so true. That like we really, all really do that.
Yeah.
Our preferences, like so we're talking about your perspective is this, therefore it is. And we all have different preferences. So we can't compare. We can't play the compare game. We can't play the I should be more like this person because of this, because we all have different perspectives. Yes. We all have different what's the word I just used? Preferences. Therefore, they're not all going to be, so it's just like what we're doing is just this big mess. It doesn't make any sense.
Yes. We might not be able to control what is going on around us, but we can control what's going on within.
That's it.
We can control how we react, our interpretations of things. Yeah.
And that is what spirituality is to me.
Whoa.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing else. It's that.
Yeah.
That is taking the woo-woo out of
spirituality
and bringing it down to earth.
Buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. Everybody take a sip of whatever you have.
I'm going to double fist.
I've got some water.
Coffee. Yeah, no. That's crazy. But that like stuff.
Yeah,
like
but I agree.
That's just life-changing to think about. It really, really is.
Yeah. And that's why I think like even the relationships that I've had, like for example, with that guy, I am grateful for that, because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have, I'm just going to do this. I wouldn't have this really cool tattoo on my leg, because I definitely got that. because
I got one.
He didn't know what to call me, so he was calling me he was calling me a witch, and I was like, I'm going to take that. I'm going to run that because I love that.
Yes,
damn. Own that.
That in your life.
But if it wasn't for him, I would not have had this moment of, I need a reset. I need to let things go. And it's not just because of him. It wasn't just that, right? It was like other things collectively that I just needed to let go of so that I could make room for this amazing, loving guy that's in the wall next to me. So I hope he can hear. Love you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was that. I needed to let go.
Absolutely. I believe it. And I believe that everybody, this is going to blow your mind, okay? Because I just pulled a card into anticipation of pulling a card for the episode. And it's the teacher card, okay? So as you were talking about the coven, I was like, I know what deck I need to pull from. The Wild Goddess Oracle, which is the divination and ritual for living an empowered life. Because as you were talking about circle of women wearing black, I'm like, empowered.
That's what it was.
So I pulled the teacher card and I was about to share, like that we're all here teaching each other things. We're all here learning from each other. And whether that is perceived as good or bad, like sometimes things fall apart to teach you what you don't want or what you've outgrown. That's the teacher of life. And so I love this. And look at the symbology. Okay, so we got the woman, we've got the snake. We talked about a snake shedding its skin. There's a snake right across her third eye. We got this owl down here, which makes you think about
we pulled wasn't there an owl?
No, but we talked
about an owl afterwards.
Yeah,
afterwards.
So I'm going to read this for you for guidance for this week. We also got to talk about really quickly after we do this, the couple future episodes that are coming up that are really exciting.
Yes.
The teacher card, let's go to this gorgeous guidebook that's like actually like a book. The message, you would do well. It's interesting. We're talking about books. So the message on the back of the card says you would do well to read more and otherwise learn about those who have worked diligently to attain what you seek and have succeeded. Okay. The teacher is wise as her power animal, the owl, from whom she has learned so much, especially to seek to know who has accomplished much in their chosen field. The snake, the other universal symbol for wisdom, sheds its skin and teaches how we must all rid ourselves of things and ideas that have outlived their usefulness and thereby must be reborn in each moment. The appearance of the teacher in your reading is a reminder that you need to do your homework if you want to improve your current situation. You need to do your mind work, right?
Boom.
Soul work, boom, plug in Erin, soul work. He is the curator and conduit for the knowledge and wisdom aggregated from trusted and proven sources far and wide. And you should avail yourself of all research tools to help you in your quest, right? Those big breadcrumbs that are being dropped.
Mm-hmm.
This is like,
wow.
I think that's what this is saying. Cultivate an appreciation for the treasures that maturity brings. This is interesting. Me talking about getting older and the wisdom and maturity. Yep. Even if you are relatively young, the ultimate goal is contentment in all circumstances. Boom. Like, seriously.
Okay, well, get ready because it's about to the mic is dropping that much more. I am so excited. Guess what I pulled? And I took a glimpse at the definition in this book. So I felt like, because we're talking about witches, which also I love, I'm reading a book called The Lighthouse Witches, which I think you would love.
Oh, and the lighthouse is the symbol for me.
I know.
The
Lighthouse Witches. It's really good so far. I can't put it down. So we'll plug that book.
Must buy.
But I'm pulling from the Halloween Oracle because I felt like it.
I've never seen that before.
I literally was just looking for a Halloween deck and it popped out to me. Cool. So I love it. Okay, so guess what card I pulled? I pulled Winter, the Sacredness of Pausing, it says. Okay, which is very, very what we
talked about that.
I just was
whoa.
Right?
Okay. We talked about winter even.
Yes, and get ready for what this says. Okay. It says, death is frightening, even though, or perhaps because, it is inescapable. However, as we move into winter, we know it signals a literal and metaphysical death. In some parts of the planet, the extreme weather means snow and ice buries all life, and the ground lies fallow and still, right? In winter, the earth slows down and there is less light and even more wet weather. Many planets die back, many animals are less active, and traditionally it was a leaner, more difficult time for those who worked on the land for their living. Winter also brought with it the end of a life cycle, a figurative or literal death. Should the winter card appear to you, it's time to let what no longer serves you die away. Which is what we just freaking talked about. Where it seems natural and right to let things that have been bothering you for some time die back. Take real action to change those things. Love it. Anything that is superfluous, extra, and burdensome, release it.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
Death. We actually literally talked about death, right? We also metaphorically talked about it.
With the dream and all that stuff. And then I found this, talked a little bit about that too, right? The snake being reborn.
Yes.
The wisdom shedding. Like crazy. So this is, and also when she says the appearance of the teacher in your reading is a reminder that you need to do your homework if you want to improve your current situation. It's like, it's empowering you, which is what we're trying to do, that you are in control of you and your mindset and in your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that you can improve your internal environment.
Yeah.
In spite of anything else.
Anything
it's not to say it's not more challenging.
In spite of Mercury retrograde, even.
In spite of it all, you can, get stuff done, and it can be a good time for you. So I love this episode. This is crazy. The last 2 episodes are like, whoa.
I really hope everybody's enjoyed this. This is a nice welcome back, right?
Yes. And the like Google search afterwards about like burnout. I'm just like, I'm not going to get over that forever.
I can't.
That's like one of those things we'll talk about forever.
Right?
So some exciting things coming
up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thank God you said it, because I literally forgot. Okay.
You want to talk about upcoming podcast with a guest?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're going to be talking to Intuitive Brandy as well. What is her Instagram? I feel like
Spirit Talk.
Spirit Talk. Instagram, and she has a podcast. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. I actually haven't spoken to Brandy or met her virtually, so I'm very, very excited to do so. Yeah. I know you were on her podcast, right?
I was on it, but we must have seen each other's faces. Yeah. I've connected to her. I was on her podcast last summer. A lot has changed since then. So yeah, she reached out to me and said, like, do you want to collab? I'll come on yours and you come on. I was like, yeah.
Shout out.
On
and I met her through you. Yeah.
Yes. So Brandy has an amazing podcast.
Really, really good.
Talk. She hosts it on her own, does some things on her own, but also has regular guests on talking about different spiritual topics. She just put one out the other day that I have to listen to called The Spirit of Water, which I think is really cool. And it came to my mind when I pulled the river
card. Yeah.
Episode. Yeah. So next couple episodes, we're gonna do one with her.
Yes.
Spirit Talk,
you're gonna want to her on. Exactly. You're going to want to check out her podcast, but then also stay tuned, because we're also
tuned on ours.
Talking.
And so this is 27. So then we've got 28 and 29 covered. Episode 30.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. We've been talking about this for a few weeks. We always kind of plan to do something for episode 30. We're going to do another live mediumship demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited. So if you guys missed it, we did one before. If you go back and you look, I don't recall what episode number it was, but I can put it in the
show notes. Yeah,
in the show notes for sure. We did a live mediumship demonstration with a viewer named Melissa. We did
Shout out
like this. Shout out to Melissa.
Lovely.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's become a nice friend.
Really great supporter. Yeah,
but we didn't know her. She just found us she found us through Spirit Talk.
Oh my gosh, we'll love that. Look at that.
So she listened to Spirit Talk, had heard my interview, started following and listening. So what we did then, which is what we'll do again for this one, is in the next coming weeks, we'll start to put up some material content on our personal Instagram pages about how to enter for this giveaway. And so we will draw a name, and the winner will get to come on with us like this on air. And we'll do a reading for them. Yeah.
So that's very exciting. You definitely don't want to miss that.
Don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss the giveaway. Tuned. So if you're not following Erin and I on social media, I am the Intuitive Rising on both Instagram as well as Facebook. And you are?
I'm Erin Murray on Facebook, but also Instagram, and then Soul Work, WRK on Instagram.
Right. Yeah. That's right. So that's really exciting. I can't wait to do that next demonstration and show you what we do in action. It's a really good way for people that might otherwise not have an opportunity to have a reading, or not really know even what a demonstration is. That we just like to show you real life examples of what
we do.
What we do, what it could be like, what it can be like, and what we mean by evidence.
Yes.
So invite you to go back and listen or watch that episode if you'd like.
It was really beautiful.
It was really and she has provided, like, she messages me every once in a while. She messaged me the other day about no, I think she had left me a Google review actually, and she had written in it about how she's like months later, things are still revealing themselves. To her. So it's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving.
I love that.
Thank you, my friend. This
Thank you, everybody. What a great episode.
Everybody.
Bye.
And for next week. Bye.
If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and tune in each week as we dish on all things spiritual.
Don't forget to like, comment on what you would like to hear us talk about next, and subscribe.